What's going on, guys? My name is Alex. These are my co-hosts,
Brian.
Andrew.
and you're watching the Play-by-Play Pod.
Andrew and I thought about legal name there for a second. My bad. We did the top 100 ESPN athletes from 2000, but the list was only 250. So now we'll, a few weeks later, do the other 50. So from 50 to 1. That's a little quick overview. I know that we will make a few stops when we get pissed or surprised, and we're going to make a stop at 50. I know that for sure. So first off, we have number 50 right here, with arguably the greatest midfielder of all time. You guys have any opinions, being a France and a Real Madrid fan, of Zinedine Zidane being 50? Took a short peek of who was ahead of him.
Yeah, just looking based off of who is above him, it's kind of disrespectful to say the least.
That's the one that right there.
That's the one I don't get when Pedro's like 90.
Yeah.
I mean, Pedro's better than Max. I mean, I guess, but what we didn't take into account last time was post
From
2000.
2000
Did
But it's
Pedro
hard-
play a lot
Oh,
in
yeah.
the 90s?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But so that's still hard. Like, once my mind sees it, it's like there's no fucking way.
That's the real Mr. October, by the way.
David
Big
Ortiz?
Poppy.
Yeah, it might
Derek
be.
Jeter,
might
get out of
be.
here with that
So
shit.
just to clarify, we have Zinedine Zidane at 50, Aitana Bonmati at 49.
Say something about that.
Nope. Thierry Henry, my favorite player ever, at 48. Jimmy Johnson,
That's the
NASCAR
greatest
driver.
NASCAR driver of all time.
I mean,
No, it's not.
I can't speak on
Intimidator is,
that, but
you know,
then Max Scherzer at 46 and David Ortiz at 45. I mean, realistically, for me, I think just based off of accomplishments alone, you have to take into account Zidane above Bonmati and Thierry Henry.
I'd say, I mean, it just depends on worth of sport too. Obviously, more people watch Zinedine Zidane play than Jimmy Johnson drive. I will say that David Ortiz is probably the best DH to ever play in baseball. So that could carry some weight alone on why he's ahead of someone like Zidane.
Just because of the
Just
outright
because-
position.
Yeah,
and,
like he's the best in his position
Yeah.
ever. Although I will also say that if you're making a best 11 of all time, you're probably putting Zinedine Zidane in that
Yeah.
best 11. He's probably one of the best midfielders of all time.
Well, and I don't even know if it says it in the article, but like, do you not account?
But he also
for
played in the
him-
90s too.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, do you not account for what he's done as a manager? I mean, I
That's
get it. I
true.
get it as
It's
an
probably
athlete,
not. It's
Players,
athletes,
yeah.
players.
but
You would
But
like
he
to
is-
think that would get some recognition, but it's I don't think they're taking that
Yeah,
into
I mean,
I don't
account.
think so.
And I mean, he did win his World Cup in the 90s, so you can't.
yeah, all
apply
he did was
that.
headbutt some dude in the 20s
Yeah,
or the 2000s. No, but I think it definitely can't be managerial because a lot of the people on this list that go into management
yeah,
won't be the best managers.
yeah.
I mean, like look at Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky was one of the worst hockey coaches of all time, and it's strictly because people like. It's hard to describe, but like when you're like Michael Jordan could also never be a manager or a coach because
Just so instinctive.
yeah, it's instinctive. Like Wayne Gretzky would probably get pissed off at his players for not knowing where the puck would be in 10 seconds. Wayne Gretzky, when you watch him play, would just randomly be somewhere on the ice, and then, oh, look, the puck's over there.
yeah,
Like, you can't teach that.
it's very
So,
hard to.
yeah, you're-
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're just seeing the court or the ice, I guess, in a different way that other people
Yeah,
aren't.
and you
Yeah.
can't communicate
You can't
that as a
teach that.
manager, which is rare for someone like Zinedine Zidane, who probably saw the pitch, a lot different than a lot of people. But
yeah.
Yeah.
it was. But to be fair, he did not have bums in that midfield as well. He had some of the best midfielders also of all time in that midfield. So, I mean, I guess it could go either way.
So to clean out the 40s, we have at 44 Michaela Schifrin, a skier, Olympic gold medalist skier. Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod at number 43,
Best
42,
Best shortstop and third baseman of all time.
both positions.
Yeah, actually, no, he's the best shortstop of all time. He's probably not the best third baseman.
And at 42, we have Giannis. I'm not going to say the last name. 41, Dirk
That feels right.
Nowitzki.
That feels right.
That one feels good just because I saw who's above him.
A
And
lot
it's
of
like,
basketball
okay, it
players
makes
above
sense.
him, yeah.
Yeah.
And then at 40, Justin Verlander. I think we could all agree he's probably Like easily better than Max Scherzer.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
definitely.
Well,
I
he's-
mean,
well,
Justin
he's one-
Verlander fell in. Sorry to cut you off, but Justin Verlander fell in. Like, obviously, he's a Hall of Fame pitcher, one of the greats. But the only reason he's not the pitcher of our generation is because of Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah.
Like, he's right up there with Clayton.
But I say
when
it's
it
probably
comes-
like 1A, 1B. You would say.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, he's also one of the only pitchers to win an MVP.
I was just gonna say
That's-
that's
so-
what
that's
where you cut me
really
off from.
impressive.
And
yeah.
he's
As I
a
was like-
multi-time World Series winner. I think.
You don't see pitchers win
So
the MVP.
he's multi-time, right?
Well,
Two-time
MVP?
World Series.
No, two-time World Series.
Oh yeah, I know, but just
2011 AL MVP.
And he won that MVP with the Tigers too, not even the Astros. So.
yeah, yeah. But that was more of like but when he goes to the Hall of Fame, what are you counting him as, a Ranger? I mean, not a Ranger,
Tiger or Astro.
yeah. For me, he's a Tiger.
I'll count him as a Met.
All right.
for that half year. Love that.
No, for me,
No, he's an
for-
Astro. He's an
he's a
Astro.
Tiger
He
for
got
me.
his glory as an Astro.
Yeah, but that was at the end of his career, though.
I know, but he's still just as good. Well, maybe not anymore, but he was still just as good. I mean, he won one of his Cy Youngs at the.
Did he win both World Series with
Yeah,
the
with
Astros?
Yeah,
Yeah, but he also left them too, though.
he'll go into the Hall. He left him for
I mean,
money.
as a,
Houston wasn't going to pay the bill.
I
And
will
by the way,
say
Houston
as-
still isn't paying the bill. So
I will say as the resident like baseball casual, when I think of Justin Verlander, I think of him in an Astros uniform. I know that he was with the Tigers. Obviously, he won an MVP with the Tigers.
God, he was
Um,
disgusting.
But just as someone who's more casual with baseball, I would think of him as an Astro.
I think his peak athletically was that conversion from the Tigers to the Astros, which might. But he's definitely going to go into the Hall as an Astro. But he got more recognition as an Astro because of the World Series.
Yeah,
so. At
we'll see.
39, we have KD, Kevin Durant. 38, Barry
That's
Bonds.
blasphemous because he's the best baseball player ever.
Do you
He's the
think they
best
took the
baseball player.
roids into account?
I think the fact that he also started his career in the 90s was in an account. I think he did
Yeah.
at least. But, I mean, shoot, he was definitely a giant he was definitely.
I mean,
Still
4
dominant.
consecutive MVPs. You can't
He won
really.
7.
I know.
in
That's
total.
ridiculous.
This guy, I also don't have a problem being there.
37
I
and
love
Ichiro
Ichiro.
Suzuki.
Oh yeah,
Do you
yeah.
think he should be above Barry
Barry-
Bonds
no.
though?
Probably
No.
not, but
No, but it is interesting.
you got to think about
Ichiro
how
Suzuki-
old he was
Ichiro
when he came
Suzuki
over.
was 29 when he came over and still achieved 3,000 hits in the MLB. He's the best hitter of all. I'm sorry, Pete Rose. He's the best hitter of all.
That's crazy.
Dude,
He is.
3,000
3,000
from
hits.
29.
When
When did he
Uh-huh.
retire? Do
Yeah.
we know the
Oh,
age
he
he
probably
retired?
was like
in his
41,
40s?
42.
Yeah, okay.
47 or something like
No,
that.
he wasn't that old, but he was like
I
42,
promise you
43.
he was that old. Like, he was
He
pretty
was,
damn
he
close.
was in his early 40s, but dude, he
And
he
then
was a
at
beast.
36, we got. This is who I think of when the very little chances that I think of WNBA. I think of Maya Moore, and that's her at 36. 35, Dwayne Wade. This is where I have a problem with it because Kevin Durant is miles above Dwayne Wade.
Oof. Hot
Like,
take.
Miles.
Hot
And
take.
I don't think it's close.
Think this is the decoration, though? I
It's
mean,
got to be. That's the only thing that he
won
has
how
above
many?
him.
Wade won how many?
3?
3?
He won in, I think, what, 06?
Two with the
and
Heat-
then
I
2
mean,
with LeBron.
2 with LeBron. Yeah, I was going to say one.
KD
And
won
just the one with
2,
Golden
That's the
State.
two.
or 1
with
with
Golden
Golden State.
Just the one.
But a lot of people obviously
I know,
didn't
but
like
Kevin
that Golden
Durant
State
in
team.
his prime, obviously,
He's one of the
been
best scorers
dealing
of
with
all time.
injuries. He's one of the best scorers. Exactly. One of
Automatic
the best
bucket.
scorers.
I mean, even still, he was an automatic bucket for you.
And you can't even use the argument that, oh, he had to go to the Warriors with Steph and Clay to win a championship because LeBron had to go to the Heat for Dwayne to win.
That's true.
2.
That's true.
2 more on top of his 1. And then number 34, we have Tamika Catchings. Number 33, we have Miguel Cabrera. Number 32, Marta. And number 31, Clayton Kershaw. And to round out the 30s, we have Mike Trout.
I'll tell you what, Mike Trout, I hate to say this only because I love Mike Trout, but I would like to see him higher on the list, like as in like the lower numbers. But I definitely can see him at 30 because of the injury.
Yeah.
The last, especially,
Yeah.
you're taking into account the last, what, 4 or 5 years haven't been up to par.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. I mean, you really have to be good at your sport to be in an elite category, just in any sport, an elite category where you are one of the greatest to play the game and you're also one of the biggest what if stories of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's going to go up there with Ken Griffey Jr., as one of the biggest baseball what ifs if they weren't always hurt. He's going to go up there with some of those athletes where you think about stuff like that, where it's like, what if they weren't hurt? What if this? What if that? But also, just like Junior, he's got Hall of Fame numbers. He'll be first ballot Hall of Famer easily.
Yeah.
He could that back and meniscus could have taken him out, and he'd still walk his way into the Hall. It's just a rare thing. So
They'd hold
I'd
the
like to
doors
see him at
open.
like 20s, but I can see 30 just because
The
last
injuries.
3-4 years. Yeah,
Yeah, it
ever since
sucks. I mean,
the COVID year really took once the COVID year hit, that's when it was bad. He hasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, last year he played in 100 games or something like that, or in like 90 games and still hit 39 home runs.
Yeah.
that's right.
I mean,
It's the GOAT. Don't you forget it. Aaron Judge.
So looking at Mike Trout at 30, AJ, can you think of
Baseball players that'd be above him?
obviously going based off of like
In the
2000s
2000s?
and on,
I swear.
or do you still consider him being like the GOAT of the 2000s?
I was gonna say some pitchers because I'd put Clayton above him, but we just saw Clayton.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clayton at 31,
Oh,
but
I'd have
above
Clayton.
like Scherzer and Verlander, which I'm pretty sure
I
you guys
mean,
would agree is
Yeah,
correct.
definitely.
I don't think there's another baseball guy up there. You tell me if I'm wrong.
I mean, we'll see.
I
Maybe
can see
Mariano Rivera.
It might be Mo. No, I can tell you this is ESPN. Jeter's up there too. I can
Oh
promise
my
you. Jeter's.
god.
I can
Yeah,
promise
that's
you.
the name I didn't want to see up there.
I can
He's not even
promise
the
you he's
best
gonna be up there.
shortstop.
Let's see if
No.
we find him.
I'll give you
Let's
that.
see.
We already passed the best shortstop.
29, we have Michael Schumacher.
Arguably the second to third best
That's
Formula One
okay.
driver.
That's
Nikola Jokic at number 28.
He's just decorated player.
I mean,
3 straight MVPs.
it's hard to argue. It's just the
3 straight MVPs.
the most recent span of achievements and accomplishments and just dominance that he's had. Let's see. Randy Moss at 27. I love that. I'm a huge Randy Moss guy. He deserves to be there.
This is too low.
that's my guy
Peyton
right
Manning
here.
at 26.
This is too low.
Despicable.
I mean, he's top
I mean, I
5.
can
He's
only
Mount
think of
Rushmore
I can only
quarterback,
think of one other football player that should be above him, and he'll probably will.
yeah,
be
but
top
it's gonna
5.
be mad when he's top 10, top 5. That's
This is another
okay.
guy.
Now that's stupid.
Floyd at 25. I can't take him seriously. I'm sorry.
I don't have. That's the other baseball player I thought. That's the one I forgot.
Albert
I forgot about
Pujols
him. I will
at
tell you when
24.
you asked me if I thought of baseball players, I didn't directly think of Albert Pujols right away. While we were scrolling, I was thinking baseball players. I was like, oh, I wonder if they'll put Pujols.
Has such
in.
a
That
sour
I could
taste in my
see.
mouth, but yeah,
I could see
he's up
Pujols.
there. He's
Yeah.
up there for sure.
And
Yeah, that
then
makes sense.
23, Kevin Garnett. That's tough
Big
too,
ticket.
because I would put KD over him. I would put Jokic over him. I mean, defensively, Kevin Garnett's one of the greatest.
that's high.
He won a chip.
Only
It's
one, though, right?
just-
Okay,
Yeah, one championship with the
tell
Celtics.
me I'm wrong. D Wade as a player is better than Kevin Garnett.
I think it's just also depend. I think it also just
I don't
depends
know,
on-
just because when you think of Kevin Garnett, like that is probably some of the best defense you'll ever see.
Okay, but D
And
Wade.
I know D Wade was no slouch. He
Well, I was
wasn't
gonna
a
say, but
slouch.
D Wade won a ship with his team.
Yeah, that's true.
Kevin had to go.
He had to go build a team in Boston.
Yeah,
That's
so I
true.
mean that'd be my argument, but
Yeah, but I mean, like, I guess we might see him on this list, basketball player wise. But like, are you gonna knock off the fact that Steph Curry had a great team around him for his chips, or
You can't.
That's what I
it's
was gonna
like
say. It's
slowly
like-
built though.
yeah, I
He'll be
understand. He'll be
up here for sure.
Let's see. And at 22, we have Sidney Crosby.
phenom hockey player. He definitely deserves to be there.
21, Diana Taurasi. And number 20, Aaron Donald. See, I feel like some would argue Aaron Donald is worse than JJ Watt.
I just think that although it's a
That's
little weird,
tough.
I
That's
think
a
it's a
tough
little
one.
weird because they still had to do the same thing with JJ Watt to stop him. But Aaron Donald was that guy where they were putting the tight end and 2 guys on him
Yeah.
just so he didn't beat.
I
His
I don't think
stats
there was a
towards the end of
time
his
he
year where
never had
was-
2 or more
exactly
people
his
blocking him.
stats weren't always sexy. He wasn't walking away with 15 plus sacks. He still might, but it was the fact that every defense knew that if we didn't at least double team him,
And
He
he was
was
a
getting-
tackle.
it was over.
Yeah.
That's the part that like blows my mind. Is
I
he was getting
used
those
to-
sack numbers as a tackle.
Eight-time first team All Pro, 10-time Pro Bowler. Pro Bowlers are kind of whatever. It's kind of a joke now, but 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's up there, and he retired at his some would say
His prime.
prime.
around his prime. Yeah, I
He
think
got bored.
I think that
Yeah.
if you asked a bunch of offensive linemen in the NFL who they feared most, they'd say Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
So I think that speaks to why he's up.
Yeah.
And then, so into the top 20 now, we have at 19 Lewis Hamilton,
There.
18
This is
Patrick Mahomes.
Where I don't get it, I think that Patrick Mahomes and Peyton Manning should be literally right next to each other. I mean, he already got the Super Bowls and all that.
Yeah, I was gonna say
obviously,
that's and his
but
career ahead
Peyton's
of him.
career is finished.
Yeah.
I mean, listen,
So they're playing the upside.
knock on wood, there's still a lot of upside. He's still got a lot of career left.
Yeah.
I'm not hoping that he, stops playing football because if for any reason I want him to end up being higher than Tom Brady on here. I don't want anybody ever getting hurt. But I don't know, having somebody literally only like 6-7 years into the career. Now he has won 3 Super Bowls in the first 7 years of his career.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And he's probably going to win even more. But I don't know. Just the fact that he's not a finished career yet might be a little too high. But also, you can't argue that he's this high because he has put himself that high.
Yeah, I
with
think
the
it
elite
warrants.
play that he's had.
I mean, two more Super Bowl, or I'm sorry, one more Super Bowl than Peyton, 2 more MVPs than Peyton.
That's what I'm saying.
You
I mean,
ca-
you can't.
I can't really argue with that.
Yeah,
Let's see.
Big D's.
Best
At
center of all time.
17, Shaquille O'Neal.
best center of all time.
And then at 16, Tim
Nah,
Duncan.
fuck
Would you
that.
push Shaquille
Fundamentals.
over Tim?
Hell yeah. Nah, but
Mr.
some
Fundamentals?
some
Mr.
people
Fundamentals,
have
baby.
Tim in their top 5. So
Timmy D.
I mean,
I guess, but
he's
Shaq,
such a nice guy. I can't even argue with it.
dude, but Shaq freaking he revolutionized. Like
Yeah, when you think of
you had to
dominance,
invent Hack a Shaq because
Yeah.
I think
How
that
dominant he
I
was.
think
Yeah.
it's really nice that they have them right next to each other too, with the
Yeah.
Spurs and Lakers rivalry back in the day. That
and I think that if you were to ask Shaq, he's humble enough to be like, yeah, throw Timmy above
no,
me.
I don't think so.
I think he would.
No. There's no way. Shaq's
Tim might
saying that
say it,
he's-
not him.
This is someone after this Olympics. She should be almost the damn top 10.
Katie Ledecky.
Yeah,
Yeah. So 15, Katie
Dude,
Ledecky.
I remember when she was coming up. That's crazy.
dude,
Bro,
bro,
the
she
GOAT
won- she
female
won.
athlete of the Olympics.
So
Yeah.
real quick, they were talking. There was a topic. There you go, Steph Curry. But they were talking about how when is it gonna like what's gonna stop? I'm not gonna get into the whole deep thing, but what's gonna stop? In a few years, if the Olympics keeps going this way, for men to compete in women's events and for women to compete men's events. And the problem is obviously if you look at all the world records, obviously the men are faster.
Yeah.
Right. That's just a stat.
It's just the
a stat.
facts.
She's the only person I truly think right now that you could throw anybody out there
and she'd
and
beat
she'd
him.
wax 'em. It wouldn't even be close. The women's world record for swimming, I do believe, is very close to the men's world record for swimming, and she's broken her own record like 8 times.
Go.
She won her last gold medal, the 1500 meter or whatever. She won it by like 18 seconds.
Yeah, it was a lot. I remember watching it.
She had enough time to take off her hat, turn around, few breaths, take off the goggles, and then the second place person finished. And then there was another like
Oh my
8
gosh.
seconds before the third place
Yeah.
person finished. It was
crazy.
insane.
Dominant. At 14, we have Steph Curry. I think that's a good spot for him, especially when you think
Yeah.
of 2000s and on.
Solidified with this.
This is too high.
Cristiano Ronaldo at 13.
too high.
Too high.
Considering the fact that I think they have Messi in the top.
This is BS.
Number 12, Rafael Nadal. That's
Go.
fine. Yeah, one of the GOATs. Right behind him, or right ahead of him, Novak Djokovic, who I
Deserves to
think
be-
is better than
yeah,
Rafael
deserves to
Nadal,
be
but they're
higher.
1A, 1B.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then now into the top 10, we have Kobe Bryant.
I think once we get into these top 10, you can make an argument for any of them to be damn near top 5. So it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
See, for me, when I look at these lists, I want obviously the stats, the accomplishments. I want longevity.
You
If
can't
we're
get much
gonna do
longer
from
than Kobe, son.
2000 and on, I don't want like just a 3-year spurt of them being.
So you didn't have
the
a
greatest.
problem with Mike Trout being 30 then? I would assume.
No, I was
'cause he
fine
was-
with that because he hasn't produced the last couple
Greatness,
of
but
years.
yeah.
But
Speaking of
Usain
long-term-
Bolt at number 9. Obviously, it's enough said with him. Number 8, Tiger Woods.
selfishly, I want to say he's a little low, but
Yeah.
no one's. The only reason is because
I got to see the rest of this list.
The only reason is because I think in my heart, if you were to ask like an older golfer fan, some might say that Jack Nicklaus is better than Tiger Woods. Now there might be different reasons to why they say Jack Nicklaus is better than Tiger Woods,
Look at the
But
accolades.
in my opinion, there are truly only 2 goats of sports, major sports, I guess I should say. All the rest of them are argued. Like everybody would say, oh, MJ's
There's
the
no
GOAT, like
arguing
LeBron is a
for.
GOAT. Wayne Gretzky and Tiger.
That's
For
fair.
sure.
Let's see, number 7, Simone Biles. I can't argue with
He
that
just added
either.
to it.
She just added to it. The only
Talk
thing
about
I don't
longevity
like
and
the
doing
only thing
it.
I don't like about Simone Biles is when she backed out of the last Olympics. Gets the better of everybody.
Oh,
Number 6, Roger Federer.
I think Jokic should be higher than Roger Federer, but I don't know much tennis.
Okay, now into the top 5. Number 5, Tom Brady, which I think shouldn't even be an argument for me. He's the best quarterback of all time. He's the GOAT, in my opinion. When you think of 2000s, you think of the Patriots dynasty. You think of what he's done with Patriots, the Buccaneers.
I'm very interested to see who
And
is
it's
above him.
Easily.
I see the next name,
he
and I
made it look
already
easy.
disagree with it.
bronze.
At number 4, LeBron James.
I disagree with that. I think Tom Brady should be higher.
At number 3,
I know that was gonna piss you
Lionel
off.
Messi.
That's
Gross.
sick.
Should not be top 3. I'm fine with top 10,
I'm
but he
fine with
needs
him
to
and
be
Ron-
like
I'm
10.
I'm fine with him being.
Him and
next to
Ronaldo should be
I don't
right
care
next to
if
each other.
Ronaldo and him are 4 and 5, 6 and 7, or where they had Ronaldo 13 and 12. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I just think that you have to have them next to each other. They're the 2 closest athletes when it comes to like argument for GOAT you can have.
Messi is not 10 spots better than Ronaldo.
No,
No,
hell no.
Simple.
Hell no.
Number 2, Serena Williams.
Dominant in
That
her
makes
sport.
sense.
Yeah,
For-
dominant in her sport.
Talk about doing it over longevity.
Still.
She's the GOAT as far as female tennis goes.
And the
And at
greatest
number
athlete of
1,
all
the
time,
greatest athlete of all time from the year 2000 and on,
I think ever.
I
Michael
was gonna
Phelps.
say, you don't think he's the GOAT?
28
Oh, I mean, he's a
time
go to swimming.
Yeah,
but I
Twenty-
think that's
28
why-
time Olympic gold medalist, Olympic medalist, 23 time Olympic gold medalist. I mean, he killed it.
I mean, all you have to do is, I don't know if Josh can pull this up,
That
but all you have
picture.
to do is pull up that picture of him with like his arms
Yeah.
out and he has all those medals.
That's it.
They asked him, it's like, are you holding those up? He goes, no, those weighed too much. I couldn't hold my arm like that, dude. But I mean, that's why I corrected myself when I said major sport,
Yeah.
because I mean, there are other like GOATs of sports. Obviously, you could say that swimming.
Yeah.
Although
Okay,
I
I
will
get
tell
you.
you that there is an argument now. I don't know if people we'll probably have 5 people watch this, but maybe one person from a different country might get real mad at this. but
Yeah.
I will say that you could argue between Katie Ledecky and Phelps being the best swimmers of all time. And obviously other sports have their GOATs, but I'm trying to think if I'd have a problem with anybody being over Phelps. I think it was just the domination. Like everybody
Yeah.
knew that you weren't gonna win when Phelps showed up. Like every single Olympics.
Who's getting second?
It was like the same effect as the only thing I will say is if you're gonna put Phelps that high, I think Bolt should be a little higher because he had the same effect.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
you're
true.
lining up. I will tell you though that Phelps swam from just watching loosely. Phelps swam everything from like the 50 meter all the way to like the 400 meter. Bolt only ran like 100 meter and all that. So I will say that he competed more, which is why he had more medals.
True.
But like, people that were running the 100 meter and people that were swimming the 100 meter to 400 meter or whatever, they knew that like silver's a great accomplishment this year, boys.
Chalk it up. Chalk it up.
Silver's where we're going. I mean, obviously you have that ambition, I guess, but those guys are going to do what they're going to do. And
Yeah.
it's just how it was.
Yeah. Alrighty. Thank you guys for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed our conversation / disputes. And let us know if you agree, disagree with some of the takes we had. But I've been Andrew.
I'm Alex.
Brian.
See you later.